so we could
That's made all the difference. Thanks, Owen.
Oh dear.
I don't know if we can angle.
Well, let's have a look at Sophie's slide. We'll hopefully see her.
Well, it's just seems. Oh,
Our special guest has prematurely arrived.
my worst fears have come to reality. I'll hand over to you and Kyle.
After
And
Sophie's shot.
I'll get my bleeper ready.
Here we go. Here comes. So she's not playing the big weight. She's playing a nice draw weight. See, I'm not sure if she will be able to improve the situation with this kind of weight. With Hamish is completely blocking everything. So unfortunately, we can't really show you a better angle at this. She maybe was trying to just angle it in. We'll see
So
what
is it
they
a singleton?
may.
Is it one? Was it two?
No, I think it would be one.
Okay.
One. So that is one.
His microphone now. Just remember, this is live, this is uncensored, and this is on air now.
Yes, as
Rumble.
As David had alluded to, I'm now joined in the commentary box by current Scottish Junior Champion and World Junior Silver Medalist, Ian Kyle, and he is playing this weekend with Naomi Brown. How have you been getting on so far, Ian?
Yep, it's been a really good start for us. Had a tough loss in our first game against Robin and that, but played really well, so still very happy with the way we're playing and got a good win there, so just need to keep that going and I'm sure we'll be fine.
Absolutely, yeah, we saw that game, we had that game live on streaming. You just unfortunately gave up steal in the last day. Naomi's draw just overcurled a little bit, but
it's just the ice is actually really good this weekend, but it just seems that the further out you go, the more curl you get, and it was always going to be a tough draw for Naomi, but it was a great effort, so I'm not too annoyed at her.
Good. I think she'd made a couple of good shots earlier in the
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You'd made I think it was at least one nice triple. It might have been two.
There was at least one nice shot in there for me.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one.
Good. So, what do you think the main differences are for you playing mixed doubles compared to the team game?
It's definitely. It's so different to normal curling. It's a lot of freezing, a lot of touch shots in there, so it is. So it's handy for me playing the lead because obviously I'm not playing those huge big ones always. So handy wee touch shots for me. It's just, I feel having Naomi out there is it's a calming influence for me anyway. So it keeps me under control. So she does. So, she tries her best anyway. So
I was going to say she might be trying.
It's not an easy task. So. But no, it's good fun, so I would definitely recommend it for anybody that's thinking about trying it. We have a lot of fun when we're playing in that. So it's
what do you think the most challenging thing is for when you're playing mixed doubles?
One sweeper. Having one sweeper is brutal.
It's
so
a big difference.
It's a big difference compared to, and you've got your changing sides to hold the stone straight and make it curl. It's definitely one of our biggest.
So we've seen different teams play in different ways. So some of them play with the man playing first and last, and some play with the man in the middle. Do you think that there's a good way to do that, or what? Because you play in the middle.
I play in the middle. We've just kind of thought of it, if the tactics don't go great and we don't get a good setup, then I can try and throw one as hard as I possibly can and get everything moving. That's the only secret behind our tactic. There's not really much to it. We don't really overthink it too much. But I think that's what a lot of the team's doing. It's almost just kind of copying them now.
Yeah, I think for me, I mean, I do play mixed doubles, and for me, it's right. My partner can hit better than I can, so therefore I'll put them in the middle.
Put them in the middle,
and that's what I would do.
I mean, if you get your draw weight early doors, then you can always swap in the game. I know that's allowed. So if somebody's got their weight, and
we saw this, we saw that in this game actually. Hamish, Hamish had started the game in the middle, and now he's moved to the outside.
So so he must have his weight down. I mean, that's such a crucial thing. 'Cause, I mean, the first stone in this game is just so important.
So looking at this setup now for Hamish and Katie, they're wanting to steal. Do you think this is a promising setup for them?
It definitely looks good to me. I mean, having control of the top four is key to this game. I mean, anything back tees just comes back to bite you at the end, because all it takes is one good freeze and then the whole end's ruined. So I definitely say they're not sitting too bad just now. We'll see what Katie does with her stone here, and then
looks like she's maybe coming through the port, which is quite a tricky shot.
Oh really? I see it now. Yeah. She doesn't look far away though.
She's coming in now. If she gets through, it'll be good.
She just nicked it. try and get that far back and don't leave a double.
Yeah, I think she has unfortunately left that double. So you've played with Ross this season. Are there any insights to give us to the viewers at home?
It's hard to say any faults, to be honest. I mean, every time I played with him this year, it's been pretty good, and every time I played against him as well, it's been pretty good. So it's hard to say, but no, he's such a good hitter.
Yep.
I mean, juniors, his confidence was sky high, and by the end of the week, it was almost like taking the mickey out of folk, some of the shots he was playing.
Well,
so
I remember a cross-house double against Switzerland, I think, to blank seemed...
that was against Sweden, in the first end, blanked the first cross-house double.
Yeah, I think...
Wrong call, do you think, Rambo?
I think it was a particularly ambitious call.
I think it was more Ross's call. I think it was the rest of us just sat back and accepted he was gonna go for it.
Which is fine, yeah, if it works. And there's
another
nice
one.
Double.
Yeah.
Really nice double.
See, I might have argued with that and said that's not the call, but obviously it would come back and bite me.
Yeah. And so one of the things that Sophie and Ross said they found the most challenging thing in mixed doubles was communication between the two of them. And Sophie said you've got two people trying to do four people's jobs. Have you found that difficult with Naomi?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, we've kind of worked things out that whoever throws a stone's going to call the line, and the other person's always there to sweep it. So as long as you communicate that and everybody knows their role for the shot, I don't think it's any change. It's just the change that you've got one head that's judging weight and things like that. Obviously, it'd be nice to have somebody down there holding the brush for you, but sometimes it makes you look better not being able to throw the brush.
So you obviously, for every shot, would you have a sweeper, or do you ever have someone in the head?
We did. We had one shot in that last game that if it's a really upweight shot and you need to get a lot of stones moving, I'd just say, Naomi, don't bother chasing this one because I don't think it's going to move. So
okay,
and just fingers crossed I managed to hit the brush for that shot.
I think I remember one time at the World Juniors, I think you were a streamed game and you tried to throw a hit and you maybe wobbled or something, and you said, thank goodness I don't play second anymore.
Yeah, well, I played second 2 years ago for Cameron Bryce at the World Juniors, and it was actually this technical genius behind it came up with that bright idea for me to play second, but I regretted it ever since Tay Rambo. That's why I went back to lead this year. But
typecast the youngsters into positions too early, and I think we're quite guilty of that we used to we regard them as leads or seconds or thirds for the rest of their careers, and I think there's a lot of development still to happen, and who knows where they'll finish up. So I don't like to buttonhole them too young.
Absolutely. We were talking earlier about the kind of makeup of a team, of a mixed doubles team, and do you think that there's, so obviously you are, we'll do what Rambo just said we shouldn't do, we'll call you a lead, we'll call Naomi a third, or even you're a front end player, she's a back end player. Do you think that that's a good mix, or do you think, so obviously we're watching here two back end players, do you think that that's...
Yeah, I think it's a good mix. I mean, obviously having a front end player for sweeping and that, they're constantly judging stones, I think that's a really good aspect to have in your team, and I mean even the line calls as well. So I'm really fortunate that when I'm sweeping stones, Naomi's been line calling.
It's a really nice double there from Ross. They're sitting three. They're really
doesn't look like he's playing too bad. No, like I was saying, I mean Naomi's been calling line for years now, so it's really handy to have that. And I mean she's never far off with our line calls, and as long as I can sweep it right and she lets me know in plenty of time, it usually ends up in a pretty good spot. So. No, I'd definitely say having a front end player and a back end player on the same team.
Yeah, I know Reid Carruthers had said that last year. I mean, he was fortunate enough that he had Joanne Courtney to sweep for him. He's probably the best.
Most men's.
I was going to say she's probably one of the best sweepers in the world. Never mind best women's sweepers in the world. Just full stop. So we'll see what Katie elects to play here on her last. I think at this stage she probably has to kind of admit defeat.
This is the last one. I think this is Katie.
This is Katie's last. Sorry, so it's the second for the team. Second last for the team. I think she probably has to take the double. Behind. She might get a bit of a roll even if she lays out in the open. There's still possibility of a jam or something that she needs to create some room for herself.
Hopefully her sister throws her a bone and gives her an out into the end. I don't think that'll happen though. I don't think we'll be bragging rights at home, so I will. So
its way now, looking a little bit high, but it does finish on this line. If she gets past this guard, she should be okay.
It's a pretty good shot.
That's a very good effort from Katie Jackson. She's made a pretty perfect roll. We'll just flick to the front view and you can see that just a little piece of that yellow that's showing.
Yeah, that's a very good shot.
The key thing here, what do you think the key thing here for a stone placement for Sophie would be, Ewan?
I mean, personally, I feel like I'd throw the guard, because I mean, anywhere on the tram line, to be honest, you're covering your own blue, and I mean, there's plenty of guards there, and I don't think there's any angled runs for any more than one, so I'd definitely say the guard, but obviously they're not going to listen to me. Oh, wait a minute.
Guard your
own. See Rambo, tactical genius.
Interesting. They were thinking of coming round again, which just, adds the ante. Maybe they think it's hard to nose hit that, but I prefer the guard. The guard all day. You steal again.
Go 8-2 up in the game. You've got full control.
You have to think, and what will they do? Will the other team play their power play? Haven't had a power play yet, have we?
No, we haven't. And actually, hopefully we do have it. But if not, we'll have a bit of a chat, maybe you in the next day, about power play.
Oh no, not our strong point.
So Rambo and I have been having.
It's interesting because there is a lot of discussion about when you use it, how you use it.
Me and Naomi usually go with the tactic: don't use it, full stop.
So why would that be?
It's so hard. You could be playing a full game around the centre, and you try one end going out to the wing. You're different paths. You've not played down all game. Different speed. They could just throw you right off your game. And I mean, we played the Scottish mix for men and women's this year, and I think just about every single time we played our power play, we lost a steal. So it really didn't go well for us. But you can generate huge ends from it. But
yeah, it's pretty good centre guard there. I don't think there's anything on for more than one, as you had said, but I think that was just that was the situation that they were always going to be left in. We've talked about the power play, and I think my philosophy that I talked to Rambo about is probably using it more defensively than offensively. Yeah,
well, we tried to use it defensively in that last game there, but there's nothing that can stop. Well, obviously you're not allowed to hit to the fourth stone into the end, so it's tough if they throw a guard and then one round you're still
potentially
chasing. Make two good ones there, and you're always up against it. So you are, but
and I think it's really added a nice dynamic to mixed doubles. Every end was looking really quite similar.
Yeah, well, that's it. It's a bit of it's a change up. It's a nice change.
Yeah,
it does get a bit repetitive. They're just playing everything around the centre, so it does. But it makes for some interesting curling. If everybody gets the angles perfect, and that all it takes is one big shot. So
the point you made about when you do go to play, you're not sure of the ice or what the characteristics is going to swing is really valid, because we've seen a number of power plays attempted here, and they haven't been able to hide the stone. They haven't been able to get in behind the corner.
Yeah, the ice is running great, so it is towards the centre. There's so much curl towards the centre, but I think they're just really struggling because the weight is literally just holding. Unlucky. Yeah, it's really holding going towards the wing.
Yes.
So it's really tough to get one. I mean, we've not really tried many draws round the corner guards yet, but watching some of the draws against us, it looks so tough to get round there. I'm fully buried, so it's almost like hitting the tram line and just holding straight from there. But you can't complain whenever the ice is swinging the way it is to the centre line, because that's where most of the game is. So
good.
I think we may well see. I mean, I would expect a power play here. I would have expected a power play for maybe 3 or 4 ends. They did give up a 5 in the first end.
Yeah.
I've seen teams respond immediately with a power play.
Yeah, well, that's it. They're just trying to get themselves back in touching distance.
Yeah.
If you get a good end going and get a 3 in the power play, I mean, you're back in the game. But
yeah. Well, we were thinking if you got your 3 and then all of a sudden you might steal a 1 and then it's 5-4 and
yeah, well, that's it. But an experienced team like Ross and Sophie mixed doubles, they've been playing together like this. They'll know how to deal with this kind of situation and that. I mean, they're so far up in the game now.
Yeah.
I can't really see them letting go of this.
So Hamish and Katie admitted the thing they find really challenging about mixed doubles is kind of defensive tactics, and they find it really hard to defend. How do you and Naomi approach that? Or do you think there is an easy way to defend in mixed doubles?
There's not really an easy way to defend in mixed doubles there. He's probably right. I think the easiest way is probably to go aggressive yourself. I mean, try and get as many stones in that forfeit as possible and hope that the angle's set out right for you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the key to the game, the whole game.
Yeah.
Just taking full control of the forfeit. The top 4, that's the biggest thing for it.
Just maybe just overswept that a little bit. Just slipped a little bit deep, but it's still
a pretty good shot there.
Shot.
Yeah, it's all about just getting control of that top 4 area, then you're set. So yeah, I mean, so many just wee tap shots in that. It's really difficult. But nice ice like this, I mean, it's so easy to make. It makes it so much easier to make.
You can see them, so that's
that's
the key thing. You believe they're there, therefore you're going to pay
exactly.
them.
So, a bit heavy.
Certainly is. I think that's just been the struggle for Gallagher and Katie Jackson, that they just unfortunately have been quite heavy, and as you say, if you don't have your weight, you're really going to struggle. I think I was talking with Rambo earlier, and I think if you miss that first shot, you're always going to be in trouble, and if you miss the second shot, as Rambo put it, you're in very deep doo-doo. Did Naomi and yourself, did you find yourselves in trouble at any point in the games? I think at the live stream game, we
gave up a 3 in the third end there, but that was just, I missed 2 of my shots, and that really cost us in that end. It was just a bit of miss sweeping, to be honest. I miscalled some of the lines, and I think that just comes down from lack of experience calling line, things like that. I mean, Nice is running. Although it is curling, it's just if you leave the stone too long, it really goes on you, and it snaps almost straight into the ring. So it's just trying to judge that. That's the hardest part about it. But I made 2 bad line calls, and we really paid that end. I mean, Rob and Haley paid a really good end that end. So I mean, that's the difference. And I mean, you could go 3 up, and you're definitely not in the clear for a game of mixed doubles. You could easily lose a big end whenever. So.
Just looking here, I think that Katie has a chance again to go.
She's just going to try and get a small top back on the freeze.
She wants to go top. She wants to go top of the button, or even just a little freeze or a tap on that.
Missed the call on it.
I think it looks a little bit tighter.
She also looks a wee bit heavy. I think she might be
coming in near the centre guard. If she gets past the centre guard, she might be okay. She's just past. Let's see how far it drifts in. He's just going to overcurl a little bit.
That's a good spot.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, it's a nice spot.
The angles were set up quite well there, because any hit on the left hand side of that stone is going to catch on the blue.
Yeah. Well, that's it. She's got full control of the top, like the top 4, top button area now. So it's looking good for yellow here. Sure. Wait and see what Ross does here.
I think I'm slightly surprised in that Ross and Sophie have been quite far up. I mean, they took a 5 in the first end. They haven't really cleared the centre guard ever. And Rambo was saying it's just, that's just Ross's nature. He's very aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive.
He feels comfortable. He feels comfortable in the forefoot, and he feels comfortable drawing the forefoot.
If you
think that's why?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, if you're comfortable with your draw weight, and I mean, you're how many ends in? 6 ends into the game now. You should be pretty close with your draw weight. For this time, especially for a player of Ross's standard. So, I mean,
put a lot of stones in the forefoot, you limit the score. It's hard to count more than 2 in the button if the opposition have got 2 in the forefoot.
That's it.
So it's almost a defensive tactic is to draw everything in the forefoot.
Almost the best defence is a good offence rather than the other way around.
That's it.
You've been watching far too many movies.
No such thing. That's a pretty good.
It's a pretty good shot.
Pretty good shot. He's made that angle. And what we mean by that is if he hits that one, hits that red or that blue, he should get the yellow out to the side.
If they can get to just inside of that and sit right on top of the yellow again, they're set up pretty well. I mean, full control then. Not an easy shot.
No. She needs to just play a similar line, and a similar weight, and should be close. So who's your next game against then, you?
Good question. I don't know. I'd have to look at the schedule for that.
Fair enough. Do you just take it? It doesn't matter who you play.
Naomi just keeps me right, to be honest. Naomi's my timekeeper.
So is she going to come chap on the door in a second and tell you it's time
once you say it's right, get changed, that's me.
That's you. On you go.
I'm whipped, I've got to go. We're not until 7.
Yeah,
plenty
there's
of time.
a bit of a
Plenty
break.
of time yet.
Bit of a break after this for a cut. They've elected to come the other hand on this, and that's actually a pretty good result.
I mean, Ross plays a top up in the blue. I mean, that's what I was saying just about everything on top 4.
Yeah.
Ross is always going to give himself an out now just because he's got that one top 4. So
I think this is the first time really that Gallagher and Katie have managed to kind of get some angles and get some taps going, which, you know, they might have just been caught cold in that first end. They didn't have the hammer.
If Ross plays this, there's still the one back again, I think, which might be for 2.
Yeah, with the yellow they've just played.
Yeah.
Taps the yellow.
Yep.
That yellow that they've just thrown will be usable, which is quite promising. They've put them in a situation where they do need to think about things, and again, it might just be a slightly disappointing maybe for Hamish and for Katie that they haven't been able to ask so many questions.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they get this kind of set up in the first end, it could be a completely different game. So let's try to get your weight as early as possible. I mean, you've got a 5-minute practice before to try and get your weight, but it really isn't. It's not easy for both of you to get as many throws in as possible in that 5 minutes.
5 minutes isn't long. It really does disappear.
It goes in no time. So
especially when there's 2 of you on the ice. I think when you're at a championship and at the 4-man game, you may well have 6 people on the ice.
You can follow each other up. You're both doing the draw shots, so you're trying to watch your partner's shots and sweep them into good spots, so they know their way. And it's hard chasing them up and down like that. So.
With your practice, do you stick to the side of the ice that you're going to be doing the draw shot on, or do you like
that's what we've went with so far. I mean, if we don't feel comfortable and you feel like, I want one shot, that's a good shot.
That's a very good hit there by Ross, and that yellow now is very lonely. There's an opportunity for a freeze here though.
Yeah, if you get one frozen in there, they're sitting not too bad. Yeah, well, we've just kind of went whatever hand we're throwing for the draw shot. You want to get your weight on that straight away, because I mean the hammer's so key in this, I feel.
Okay.
So just try to get your weight for that, and fortunately it's worked for us so far. We've had hammer in both games, so I almost hit the pin both times, and I've just managed to scrape into the 4th.
Is that your sweeping, or is that her throw?
I don't like to take all the credit, but I think it might have been. I think it might have been the sweeping.
Very modest, very modest. We'll see Katie come here for her last stone. She's had 2 very good draws, so she just needs to play the same weight that she's played. And we'll just flick over and see her line up in the hack. See Hamish at her side. She's just discussing the weight, discussing the line, and she's trying to keep the same pre-shot routine that she's had throughout the game. She'll come off here. There's a little bit of an extension, may have added a little bit, but we'll see. Hamish looks pretty happy with it. Sweeping it down here, we'll see it come into the top of shot here.
Looks pretty close to me.
Yeah.
Maybe
they do have a little bit of backing to come to.
It's
a little bit heavy, but if they roll off nicely,
it's up the way. It's a pretty good shot.
It's worked out pretty good. There's certainly 9-1. Not sure if it's 2.
I don't know if that was plan A, but it's definitely worked out for them.
I don't think it probably was, but yeah. It does put Sophie under a little bit of pressure, because if she does roll off on this freeze, there could well be a double for 3, which could see them 8-5, and then they'll play on, and who knows. We'll just have a look. So we've been discussing a little bit, Ewan, about Sophie's delivery, and about Rambo described it as quite extreme in terms of the release on it. What do you think the difference is in terms of release for a slide?
I play with Naomi, who plays third for Sophie, and I'd say that team's really bought into having all the same release, because I feel that they're all pretty similar. And coming from a different team and saying, I definitely say the release is absolutely wild. I mean, I've seen some really big extensions for draws, but I mean, if that's what the girls feel is comfortable with and they get used to that, I mean, there's no reason that can't work. I mean, they're all really good curlers, so they are. So I mean, it definitely works for them.
So what is it that you think that's different from in Naomi's release than, say, your release or another release on your team?
Well, it's just they slide out so much slower than everybody else, and big extension through the arm. I mean, they've obviously they get great feel out of it, and it obviously works for them. But I think you see the more traditional folks sliding the full way and maybe just a small extension.
Yeah.
They really extend.
They can almost extend from the elbow rather than from the wrist.
Exactly.
Okay.
But like you say, a great draw there by Sophie. So I mean, you can't sit there and criticise it whenever she plays shots like that, can you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you could ramble. No.
Exactly the same comment as you, that they're very comfortable with it, but it's different from everybody else.
Yeah, that's it.
And I wasn't quite so aware of Naomi's, because
it's
tremendous rotation.
Yeah, yeah, it really is. I wouldn't say it's as bad as. So, well, I keep saying as bad as Sophie's, but it's not as extreme as Sophie's, but it's different from the normal delivery. But it's as long as it's consistent. I mean, it's easy enough for a sweeper to judge. I said that earlier on after our first game. I said it's easy enough.
Coming in for a little tap. It actually is quite close to maybe releasing this back one for 3. Just needs to curl a little bit.
I think that was for 1.
Almost. So that will be 1.
Yeah, 1 yellow.
That is
one
one
good
yellow.
shot. Just gets 1.
We'll see. Maybe will Sophie and Ross? Do you think will they take the power play to try and finish this off, or keep things open? Would you like to play the power play at this stage, Ian?
Yeah, I think so. Using it as a defensive kind of way more than an aggressive. And I mean, 7th end, you score here, you're 9-3 up. It's curtains, I'd say. I mean,
well, they would need to score a perfect end with a 6.
Well,
which
I don't think that's going to happen against a good hitting team like Ross and Sophie. So I think they'll be clutching at straws after this.
See here that Ross is setting up on the side of the sheet, so we are going to see a power play, which is very exciting.
What sheet are they on? Sheet C. This is the one that we were on this morning, but this is the complete opposite side. We played our power play to the other wing.
Yep. And it was quite straight. We thought,
it was very straight. I mean, the tram line just off the centre line there. If you can see it, it was as soon as the stone got on it held straight down that line. So it.
Very, very straight, and difficult to get your second stone buried. Leave the slash, leave the hit and roll.
Well, we were fortunate enough that they didn't get them buried, so left us an out, because we kind of struggled to get a good set up that end, just because it caught us off and we were thrown first. So
if you're Hamish and Katie here, what is your call for the first stone?
Well, you're going to have to throw a centre line guard or one top 4. I mean, throwing it top 4. I mean, they can't hit it out, so if you get it in a good spot and they bump it through, then it's going to go back. But I definitely say the guard's the call. I've seen teams throw it top 4 before, but maybe not quite as big a gap in the scoreline as this.
Yeah, really here you're looking that you want to steal 2 at least to give you a bit of a chance in the last end. And we'll see how this is going. Kitty's sweeping it. They maybe, just trying to push it across that centre line, but it does finish nicely. And that is a nice tight guard. That's going to be a problem for Ross and Sophie.
Interesting to see what Ross and that do. I think they might elect the tick shot just to keep that centre line open and give themselves a draw for a 1.
Yep. I think the key thing here is to keep that 4 foot open. They, as you say, they score 1. And that's pretty much the end of the game.
And I mean, if she plays the perfect tick, she might even roll behind the guard as well. So if she makes that, that'll be a very good result for
here
that.
To this front end view, so we can see the line as the shot comes in. She is electing to play the tick on her in turn. We shall see Ross coming through. We've got this new style of sweeping. Do you sweep like this, kind of behind the stone?
I try my best anyway. Straight up and down's the way to go if you're trying to hold it straight. I think that's how most teams go now. That was just overcurled.
Bit of a bump. I think that's maybe just a little bit light of weight.
Yeah, light.
So is the tick your favourite shot to play as a lead?
It's definitely the most exciting shot we ever get to play. Apart from that peel weight hit, but I try and keep them as little as possible, because avoid me playing them kind of shots. But tick shots, so it's a great feeling if you make one, so it does.
Yep.
An important match, and you make a great tick shot on the last. I don't think there's any better feeling for the league, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, you feel you've almost won the end for the team and won the game for the team.
As long as you leave that 4 foot open for your skip, you feel that you've done your job for that end, and it just goes to goes to the second and third, and your fingers are crossed that the rest of them do their job. Because if you do that and one of them nose hits, they're in trouble.
You're not a happy boy.
I'm not a happy boy.
No. So with this shot for Hamish and Katie, would you like to come in or would you throw the long centre?
I'd say get in there, try and get one top four personally, but you might see other teams change their mind.
I think Ross is going to hit something here. He's seen enough. There's three stones in play, or we've had 3 stones thrown. Sorry, so he's definitely going to hit something.
He's
just going to hit
the flop inside.
Again, I think this is the aggressive nature of Ross, and this is what he wants to do. He could elect to try and peel things and keep things open.
He's only lying 1 against, and so he's hitting the open shot when he can see it, I think. And if they come round the guard, he'll raise it. But I think this is the right call, because he's even if he rolls out, he's still lying 1.
Keep it simple, stupid.
Absolutely, and playing the open shot, he's made a good hit and roll. He's given them a wee chance now, actually, though. They can come this side, they could even play the double.
It's a pretty thin double.
Pretty thin.
You could see almost a kind of swapping of the usual expectations, where because there is a corner guard there and they need a guard to use, that Gallagher and Jackson could use that corner guard to just try and bury some stones.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if we can get as many stones underneath that corner guard as possible, and maybe put the pressure on Ross or it'll be Sophie actually with our last draw. I mean, you never know. Even the best miss shots they do, so she could end up throwing it through the rings or being short. And then
do you miss shots, Shane?
No comment.
Yes, so we see that they are doing some. It looks like they're doing for a hit and roll. Even I think a hit and roll is not a bad outcome. Obviously, if you nudge that enough to the lie to, that'd be really good. But even if you just sit on the corner of it, that's quite nice.
It's a pretty good result.
Stone is away. Katie doesn't look particularly happy.
Would be shouting at me right now if that was me.
See the in coming into your picture. Is she going to go through the gap? Oh goodness!
I really didn't think she was doing that.
So I think Ross at this stage, he could elect to hit that yellow. He could peel the centre.
I think I like Sophie's call there. Just try and angle it in towards the yellow. I mean, you open the centre line up for yourself.
Yeah,
and
angle the blue in.
Well, are they going to go? Are they trying to get it thin?
Well, let's see. We can.
It's pretty thin either way, but or maybe he's just trying the straight peel. Maybe he's keeping it simple for an end.
For once.
For once.
That was just a straight peel. Which is, as you said, it's the simple shot. They make it effectively, and that's fine.
So I think we'll see Katie Jackson just try this shot again.
See here, she's electing to try this hit and roll again. We'll see if they'll be able to do it effectively. I think. Would you think a nose hit is acceptable? Or are you at the stage where you
definitely better than the last result they got? So,
we'll
but at this point in the game, they've got to make just about every single shot perfect if they want any chance of getting back in this game.
We'll flick over and see Katie slide. I think the last one she might have just pushed back a little bit, so we'll be able to see from this view whether she does this time. I think with the up weight, it can just, when you think that there's a double on you, maybe a wee bit inclined to add a little bit. That looked like a pretty okay release to me. Hamish is interested. He's coming out to see it. Let's see. Looks. There he goes. It looks pretty close. It's pretty thin, and that's an excellent double takeout from Katie. She definitely, I think, learned from that first one, and just maybe was a bit calmer about it, and did that. Now we're going to see Ross. He's got quite a tricky double here. I think it's definitely all known. It's definitely part of his repertoire. Have a look at the angle there. You can see most of that stone coming from his hack.
It's definitely there. I mean, it's so straight down this path. So
coming out in definitely was was straighter.
No, into out.
Oh,
it's
definitely
straighter. So I don't think this will move much.
We'll see it come down the sheet now. Here we go. It's not really moving much.
He's a bit wide.
And he's got both of them.
Jesus. Okay, Ross, sorry. Thought you were wide there, Paul.
As I said to Rambo, that's famous last words. That's what
should have just waited. Nice shot.
So I think as we'd said, they do need to make use of this corner guard, try and bury one in.
Yeah.
But even so, at this stage, the game is gone really, because if Sophie makes her draw for the one, then
9-3. Definitely say game over. Yeah. We'll see handshakes.
They technically can play on, but
they can, but whether or not they will is yet to be seen. I don't think so. Personally, I'd be trying to get off there and
try to
get out of the road of my sister as quick as possible. I know that if my brother ever beats me, which he never does, if you're listening at home, Stuart.
Well, you of course had some recent success with your brother.
Oh yeah. We won the Scottish Pairs a couple of weekends ago. It was a good weekend for us playing home ice, and I think that kind of gave us the advantage. So it did. I mean, not many folk come down to Stonor for competitions, but we took full advantage, and we managed not to fall out, which was the biggest thing for me. That never happens.
Was that unexpected?
It was very unexpected. We had one wee argument during the week, which I'm going to have to admit he was right on. But
wow, that's very brave.
That's a rare occasion that ever happens.
Okay. It's very big of you to admit. So it seems Sophie now, unfortunately, she's a free draw. Unfortunately, Katie was heavy through that. And I've just looked up, your next game is against Beth Rowley.
So looked over at them playing against Bryden in that last.
Yeah, pushed them to the last end.
Pushed them, yeah, they did. I mean, not a bad young team.
Yep.
I mean, what's the young boy called again?
It's Struan Carson.
Struan.
Yeah.
I watched quite a lot of his, and a lot of really good freezes in there. I mean, if you're playing really good freezes against anybody, you're going to give them a really good game,
especially in mixed doubles.
So it's going to be a hard one. So I mean, Naomi just going to
stay
try
focused.
Try and get her hammer on the draw shot and go out and put.
There we go. That's a good draw, and as expected, we have got handshakes there. So that is a score of 1 for Team White and Team White Jackson, and that does put the final score at 9-3. So thank you very much, Ewan, for joining us in the.
No bother. Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Managed not to swear. Achievement.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you everybody for joining us at home. As Ewan had said, we're back at 7 p.m. That is our next game. But until then, I hope you have a very pleasant afternoon.
See you later.